like to welcome you all to the 13th Annual United Nations Season for Nonviolence Conference, Speak Out, Unite, and End Violence Against Women.
This doesn't make it any easier every year for every time I have to speak, especially here since Jessica graduated here in 2006. Mr. Costelli and Mr. Anthony were her teacher. On April 2nd, 2008, my daughter Jessica became the all too many young women who were murdered by their boyfriend. I have to tell you, the loss of a child is the greatest loss you will ever experience. You need to hold your heart. And the loss is unbearable, but the pain can never leave you. I'm here as testament to my daughter's love, to warn you that this is the path that all of our children are on. And if the odds are 1 in 3, don't ever believe that this won't happen to you. Because if you had asked me 2 years ago, I was one of those parents who would never believe this could happen.
I want to thank my friend for many years, who I have the greatest respect for. Not only because he's a man of principle, but he's a human being of the world. And that is my friend, Mr. George Anthony.
This day is very important. Jessica was part of our program. She worked with Mr. Mr. Crescitelli, who he and I built this program together. And Jessica was one of our angels in our program. So I carry both Emily and Jessica close to my heart because this day is so important.
When does a relationship cross the line to abuse? Is it something that you will never find out until it's too late and the police are knocking at your door, asking you to identify your child's body?
When I met Emily's dad, I got chills.
My daughter Emily was an amazing peacemaker who chose a life of nonviolence from a very early age. Ironically, 392 days ago, she was murdered by her ex-boyfriend. A lot of schools have bullying policies and policies that address many issues, but a lot of them don't talk about dating abuse. In February is Dating Violence Awareness Month. We had over 27 governors and over 250 mayors declare proclamations for Dating Violence Awareness Month in February.
A lot of women feel pressure to have sex with their boyfriends. Did you know that 1 in 3 girls, 16 to 18, feel sex is an expected relationship? 23% of young women are going further sexually than they want to. 36% know friends and peers are pressured by their parents to do stuff they didn't feel comfortable doing.
One of the biggest problems in today's international society is rape. Rape is forced sexual intercourse. Its use is not only a way to demean a woman, it's also used as a military tactic. Speak out for those who have no voice. Help save a life.
I think this is a bit real for you. Demi Cuccia, 16 years old, murdered by her boyfriend. Michelle Rivera, 17 years old, murdered by her boyfriend. If anybody can come up and hold the pictures for us, please. Tasha Hall, 17 years old, murdered by her boyfriend. Lisa Tyler, 18 years old, murdered by her boyfriend. Jennifer Ann Lucenti, 18 years old, murdered by her boyfriend. Latrella Mosley, 15 years old, murdered by her boyfriend. And Jessica Tush, 19 years old, murdered by her boyfriend. And this is my daughter. It is reported that 1 out of 3 teens have experienced a violent relationship. They have experienced abuse ranging from verbal, alienation of friends and family, extreme possessiveness and control from their boyfriend or girlfriend, all the way to sexual abuse, physical abuse, and even death.
We need to pass legislation that will say we will not tolerate in this country where there's violence against women, and we're going to start out by teaching the children in kindergarten, the kind of garden where you plant the seeds, where the children learn from K through 12 and on into college. You will learn to respect the dignity, the rights of women, because they are the ones who will rock the cradle of civilization.
Support the domestic violence bills that are now being presented by Assemblywoman Janelle Meyer Spencer and Dan Donovan's domestic violence package. Michael Abusive has drawn up the Jessica Tush Act, which is the education bill that promotes our proposed changes to the curriculum. In this program, we want to teach how to handle rejection, overcome it, and strive for a better future. The dating program will not only be taught in the health class where it is being taught in these other states, but to expand that program to integrate it into other subjects such as literacy and history. The best way for students to learn is through repetition. We want to make dating abuse and domestic violence a subject that will no longer be hiding in the closet, but be a subject that we can all speak about freely. We want to stop the re-victimization of the abused and put the blame where it should be, on the abuser. We want to impress upon the students that this is unacceptable behavior and will not be tolerated in our classrooms, in our schools, and in our society. Our Assemblywoman, Janelle Heyer-Spencer, Assemblyman Matt Titone have helped develop another bill. It is the Danielle DiMedici and Jessica Tush law. This bill will create a registry for domestic violence offenders.
I spoke to Michael McMahon in Washington, and we are working on a national bill for a tracking system.
Jessica still chose not to tell us that she was being abused. It was only shortly after her death that I discovered that her friends, co-workers, some parents, and neighbors knew. So I say, when do we cross the line of friendship and confidentiality to expose the abuse? When is it all right to tell? Do we risk the loss of a friendship, or do we risk the potential loss of a friend, a co-worker, a student, a child? We have to change to educate our teens, both boys and girls, on dating abuse and what is appropriate dating behavior.
Silverstein and Jessica Tush aren't just names. They were victims of terrifying tragedies. They are now angels who once walked beside us and now look down on us from above.
Yet someone took these angels from us, and they wouldn't have to be smiling down if someone had just been crying out. But let me ask you this. Are you that someone? Let me ask you this. Are you that someone? Please answer us this, because we don't have time to sit here and reminisce. We can't go up there to give them a hug or a kiss, even though we want to be there up above to give them everything here that they've missed.
When it comes to Jessica Tush, if that one girl who had known would have spoken out, there's a possibility that she would be here today.
We have some terrific conflict resolution programs. You've heard a lot about women speaking up. I want to just talk for 1 minute to the men in the audience, especially the young men who are still in school. There might be just 1 or 2 or 3 of you sitting in the audience who are thinking, you know, I have some issues with anger. Sometimes I get a little out of control. I don't want to hurt anybody. If that's you, I just want to ask you not to keep it inside. Find a teacher to talk to, somebody you like, somebody you respect. We love you. There's help. Thank you. And let's hold in our hearts Jessica Tush, Emily Silverstein, all those who have suffered here and around the world.
It's an honor and a privilege to host the United Nations 2010 season for Nonviolence program. This is about respecting others, which goes well beyond the concept of tolerance. It's about a sincere desire to understand and appreciate one another.
The United Nations has 192 member states, and we have the flags here.